Hello, YouTube. I am so sorry for that delay. The YouTube backend did not want me to stream, apparently. It was being very grumpy. But, now we're live! Hooray! Neil, are you with me?
Yes, I'm here. Although, that lag is interesting.
Are you watching the stream and the call?
Yes, I am. I'm in both places. Just like, everyone else seems to think I am.
Yeah, okay, so... now, we can actually do what we came here to do. So, today is Wednesday, April the 7th, which means that it is Fedora 34 beta test day for upgrades. So what that means is, this is the day where we're supposed to test going from Fedora 32 or Fedora 33 to Fedora 34, and that's a lot of 30s. So, there we go. YouTube chat, tell me if that, okay. Tell me if that screen is big enough that you can read what it says. So, this is the website where we have all the different tests that need to be done for upgrading. So there's the basic updating with DNF, and then doing that with encrypted, an encrypted file system. And then there's doing it with GNOME software, and doing it with older versions, or doing it with Fedora 32. What I'm going to start with is just doing the basic updating from Fedora 33 to Fedora 34 using DNF. So I've got a virtual machine where I should be able to run it if I can ever figure out what I'm doing. See, this is my first time live streaming, if you couldn't tell.
You're doing a fantastic job. Like, I'm impressed with the fancy that you've put out.
I'm not, but at least one of us is. Okay, get rid of that one. Virtual Machine Manager. Open. Okay, so right there, we've got a normal, freshly installed VM with Fedora 33 workstation. So my password is the most secure thing I could think of, which is password. Best part is that this machine is not open to the internet, so only I can access it. So let's get out terminal. Do a neo fetch just to show off our Linuxiness. Oh, I don't have that installed yet. That's a problem. Sudo. Before we, let's see. Test case, upgrade DNF current workstation. DNF current. So the prerequisites, perform an installation of Fedora 33 workstation with default partitioning. Done that. Do a full system update and reboot. So, let's do that. Sudo DNF update. I have received the usual lecture from myself.
Are you sure you properly lectured yourself?
Okay, we can double check now. I will respect the privacy of others, think before I type, well, I don't know about that. And with great power comes great responsibility. There, done. I don't know what that accomplished.
I don't know if I feel satisfied by this, but okay, let's go on.
Well, it's done. The networking on this should be fast enough. Fedora 34 is available now, but it's just a beta, so you shouldn't run it in production. You should only run it on systems where you're comfortable with... I'm not gonna say like it's gonna explode, but there's no guarantee that it's ready. It's called a beta because we're still testing it out, but you can get it now. Oh, thanks, 8th Doctor. I spent about the whole day on it. Yes, NeoFetch needs to be in the base Fedora packages. It is needed on every Linux system to show off.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. What's your problem with NeoFetch?
I have no problems with NeoFetch, other than it drags in like a dozen extra Perl things, and I don't want Perl things in the base install if I don't have to.
Sounds like a you problem. That satisfied me. There's always so many updates on a new system. That's right, Neil. Pearl is your friend. Listen to the chat room.
I don't think people have realized how much I've suffered for Perl.
So once this is done, we're gonna need to figure out how to unfull screen. There we go. That's where it is. After this, do a reboot. Install the latest stable version of DNF plugin system upgrade package. Download the latest updates for 34. To aid debugging, run this command to enable a root shell on VT9. What is VT9?
VT9 is Virtual Terminal 9. Like, if you do
Oh.
Control-Alt F9, that takes you to VT9.
I've never heard of it called that. I was expecting it to be like...
Oh boy! Oh man.
TTY9.
So TTYs, teletype terminals, are actually virtual teletype terminals, or VTTYs, which we just call them as virtual terminals, VTs. Actually, in most, the actual subsystem, I think, they're actually known as PTYs, which is pseudo-terminal, pseudo-teletype terminals, which, whatever. They're fake. They're not really teletype, but that's where everything is built on, so that's what it's called.
Hey, Robin. Haven't seen you in a while. Have you done the beta test yet?
So right now we're downloading the packages, or what? Yeah.
All 831 of them.
That's... Are you sure you installed from the live CD?
Yes. Well, I didn't install, like, the live respins that are constantly made. I installed the last...
Okay, you started from the GA version.
Yeah. I'm doing the whole follow the actual instructions thing, which recommended I do that.
Oh, wow, you're following... Oh, okay.
I know, I don't normally do that, but I decided if I'm gonna, like, do something relatively important, maybe I should follow the instructions.
You don't
Hey,
even
Ryan?
follow the instructions for your own home server.
I don't want to talk about that server. Actually, the VMs I'm running are on that server right now, so maybe a bad time to bring up how janky it is. Hopefully it won't crash on us.
Oh, it'll be fine for probably the length of this, and immediately afterward, it'll go and be like, I don't like you anymore, and then die.
It hasn't crashed in a long, long time. Both of our socials should be in the description. I don't have a social. And Neil didn't ask, so...
Wait, what? Hold up, 1 second.
No, I won't RTFM. Don't worry. Yeah. Hammer knife, if you are running on a... Well, if you're running on a Fedora 32 or before install, your partitions are probably ext4, and just upgrading isn't going to repartition. So you can fresh install it, or you theoretically can change your partitions over. I don't know much about that process. So if you want Btrfs, I personally would say just reinstall. If you're still running an ext4 partition. Oops.
Well.
What happened?
That, you know, door-to-door salesman life. So what, it's a quarter way through the upgrade right now?
It looks like we're on about 300.5 packages of 1600. How come there's more to upgrade than to pull down?
So this is interesting. There is actually two phases to this. So there's the actual upgrade, and then there's the verification step. So the actual upgrade step is actually applying the packages and installing them and running the scripts and stuff. But then after that's done, it runs through a verification step. It's effectively, if you were running it on your system, RPM dash I think V on RPM dash capital V lowercase a, which does a verify of the entire system. And if it doesn't see anything too outrageous or out of the norm, then it passes, and then it marks the transaction as succeeded. So that's why the number is exactly double the number of things.
Package management. Very simple. Okay, Neil's a perfect person for this topic. What are the benefits of Btrfs?
This is an unbounded answer. Well, specifically, for most people, the main advantages of Btrfs are going to be under the hood. You're going to have a file system that has better optimizations for modern storage, including handling flash storage more effectively and dealing with high density classical storage like hard drives better. You'll have the ability with the copy on write stuff. There's some level of integrity protection as you're doing data writes, because it does checksumming of the data as write operations and read operations occur. And of course, because of all these features that are built into Btrfs, you have things like subvolumes and snapshots and things like that. And that allows you to do things like you can do a thin partitioning of resource allocations in the file system without making them hard like real partitions where you are dividing up space. So you have the root operating system subvolume, and then you have the user data subvolume for home, and they share space unless you make them not share space, and that is your choice. And for most people, that means that they have full access to their storage, and it's much more efficient that way. It's a foundation for a whole bunch of other potential features, like with subvolumes and things like that. You can also do snapshots, so you could preserve the state of a file system at any given time. And with features like Btrfs send and receive, you could actually transfer those snapshots off-site, which can be useful for replicating systems, doing disaster recovery scenarios, all those kinds of fun things. And you can do them efficiently because it's at the block level rather than the file level. Some of the other bits around copy on write and stuff allow for a feature called ref links, which means that when you do things like copying files from into another part of the file system, it's effectively a zero copy operation where the data blocks get completely reused, and then as you modify a file, it will only allocate new space for changed blocks, and the rest of it will be shared and remain the same. So it's much more space efficient in that regard. So you get all kinds of interesting things, because the ref links thing give you basically in-band deduplication, sort of in-band deduplication, and things like that. So it's as I said earlier, it's an unbounded answer. It really depends on what you're looking for, but there's just generally benefits across the board no matter what you're doing.
Definitely. It's a much smarter file system than something like ext4.
Oh yeah, and long ago, people positioned Btrfs to essentially replace the ext family of file systems. At one point, I believe it was said you could consider it ext5. And a lot of the evolution of the ext family of file systems can be kind of related towards that path. And Btrfs kind of takes some of the things that people have been trying in the ext family with ext4 to its logical conclusion, where if you're using extents, which is a data structure used in file systems, if you use extents for basically everything, which is what Btrfs does. It uses B+ trees with extent trees underneath it for everything. And that's part of what's made it so difficult to design a file system this way, because nobody's ever done it that way before. But after decades, it's been in a position where it's fairly solid, and it works well in both the enterprise and the home user case.
Thanks for the explanation. Oh. VM locked. Ali, I believe that we want to do that eventually. But, you know, don't want to change too many things too fast. I actually do have that running on my system. I set up this program called Snapper, which hooks into DNF and takes a snapshot before and after each upgrade. I think that someday we want to do that in Fedora. Slow and steady.
It's also just hard to do because the way that the bootloader works in Fedora is different from every other distribution.
And our VM is updated, so the next step is reboot. Yay, exciting things are happening. Okay, so system's back up. Let's go ahead and, oh, wow. VM double keyboard bindings are confusing. Sudo DNF update, just to make sure there's no stragglers. Which there shouldn't be, but I don't know. Seen that on some systems before. Raging Goon, are you talking about for Btrfs? Because in that case, I don't think it should have any effect on code compilation. So.
Yeah. It depends. It could, but just about as much of an impact as any other file system would. Like, if you are trying to compile huge code bases, like Chromium, you probably want to do it in its own Btrfs subvolume so you don't run into inode exhaustion and other fun things that could happen when on an ext4 file system, because you're compiling hundreds of gigabytes of things, and it's just, it's gross.
So our next step is to install the latest version of DNF plugin system upgrade. So is that a plugin for DNF to allow you to do something with the upgrades?
What, system upgrade? Yeah, it's a plugin that implements offline updates through DNF. And so the way it works is that you pre-download everything with DNF system upgrade download. And then when it's validated all those, it's verified everything, it's imported the GPG keys, then you do DNF system upgrade reboot, it takes you into a minimal environment that applies the pending transaction. And that gets done in a minimal environment so that it doesn't potentially cause random breakage in your system. This is the safest way to apply major upgrades like this. Even though it is possible to do it live, like if you want to do it while your system is running, that's essentially DNF distro sync up to the new version. It gets very dicey, especially with things like GNOME and Plasma, where there's a lot of interdependent components that can just fail during this. So the offline upgrade mechanism provides a much safer path to doing major upgrades like this.
Safe is always good. Confirmed. So now we're moving on to sudo DNF system upgrade download refresh release version 34. So we're gonna switch everything over to Fedora 34, push the Y, wait for it to pull down the repos. compression is great. In response to Ellie.
Oh, neat. That's an unconventional way to use it. Yeah, so one other thing that's interesting about Btrfs is that you can set different compression levels and different compression algorithms on a per file or per folder or per subvolume basis. So while the change in Fedora Linux 34 is that on fresh installations, you're going to have Z standard compression at level 1, you could choose that if you have a particular subset of your file system that needs to be level 5, level 7, level 14, level 22, or if you want to change it from Z standard to, say, LZO or some other algorithm that is supported, then you can. And it's fairly straightforward to do that.
Wow. This is a lot of packages. I mean, I guess that's to be expected, but it's a lot of packages. No match for group package, Xorg, font things. What do these mean? Do you have an idea? Since it's not throwing...
Well, considering I'm lagging behind you, I don't know what you're looking at.
Oh, yeah.
So what you're asking about the no match for stuff?
No match for group.
So, yeah, so what it says is no match for group package. That means that the package in question that's listed in the composition group that was being processed for the upgrade does not exist. The package in question does not exist in the repos. It is, however, not a hard failure because the group doesn't say that it's mandatory. So some background here. We have this concept of composition groups, or a lot of people call them comps groups. You can see them by doing DNF group list, and you will see all the different groups. You'll see which ones you have installed, which ones are available, and so on. When you do a DNF system upgrade, it processes those groups and attempts to add them to the transaction to make sure that everything gets upgraded correctly, even with the groups. And what's happened here is it says, well, these packages are being requested, effectively like a recommend style, but they don't exist. But because it's only like a recommends rather than a requires, it doesn't hard fail, and it just says, well, we're going to skip them.
So it probably won't cause any consequences.
It probably won't cause any issues. Those packages... It's more likely that those references have been there for years and years and years, and the packages themselves have been gone for a while, and so you probably don't even have them on 33.
So it's just getting cleaned up.
You see, it would actually hard fail if the packages were installed on 33 and it didn't have an upgrade candidate, and it didn't have a way to get obsoleted, or if it didn't have any other way to resolve the transaction. But that wasn't what happened here. This was, it tried to request a new package, it doesn't exist, it's not a hard dependency, so it skips it.
So out of curiosity, while you were talking, I did a DNF group list. We've got lots of groups. Fedora custom operating system, minimal install, server edition, so all the different spin type things. And then different server. Cool. So, back on topic. We scroll through a massive amount of packages. Get to the bottom. Oh, no, come on. Get to the bottom. Okay, so everything looks good. We're going to upgrade 1,692 packages. Install 74 and downgrade 2. Let's start it up.
What are we downgrading?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a way.
Oh, we're downgrading OS tree. I see it. It says downgrading OS tree and OS tree libs. Oh, that's not a problem.
Are we downgrading RPM OS tree?
Not RPM OS tree, just OS tree.
What? They're not the same thing?
Oh boy, you get to learn a new thing today.
I've learned 5 things from this stream alone.
Yeah, so OS tree is the foundational technology that is used for content addressable storage for root file system tree. And that's what's used in Flatpaks. That's what's used in RPM-OS tree for the operating system. And so these libraries are used to support Flatpaks on here because Fedora Workstation ships with Flatpak support out of the box.
Damien, I hope I pronounced your name right. The upgrade update thing are kind of a legacy thing where previously you had to update, which would pull down your new repo lists and give you a list of what packages need to update, and then upgrade would actually pull down those packages and swap them out.
Nope.
No? What?
Nope. Nope. Yeah, that not only does that terminology still not make sense, even though that's how it works in the Debian world. That is not actually the problem. That is not the reason that those terms exist. The reason those terms exist and why they're synonyms now is that in Yum, DNF's predecessor, they were different. So, in the battle days with Yum, Yum Update and Yum Upgrade did slightly different things. Yum Update was essentially the equivalent of, well, it was essentially doing an update where it wouldn't process obsolete, so package replacements would not happen. This behavior doesn't even exist in the latest version of Yum that is shipped in RHEL 7, but this was what the original terminology was. Yum Update did just upgrades of the packages, so it's essentially RPM UVH. It didn't process obsolete, so package replacements didn't happen. Yum Upgrade processed obsolete, so package replacements would happen. The analog here is, if you're familiar with the Debian world, of apt-get upgrade versus apt-get dist upgrade. The difference between the two is that apt-get dist upgrade, or if you're using the newer apt command, apt full upgrade, apt upgrade does package updates but ignores breaks and replaces in package metadata. If you do dist upgrade or full upgrade, it applies the rules for those and does package transitions. That's the difference. And in DNF, early on, everyone decided that it was dumb to have this decision, have this split, and most people don't understand what that split even means. And so we always process obsolete, so package replacements always happen. And update and upgrade are now synonyms. That's what it is.
Glad we have it unified now, so I don't have to think about that. Because that is complicated.
It was also stupid.
That's why I have Neil.
It was also stupid.
That's why I have Neil. Okay, are we back now?
Yeah, I think so. I saw it blip and die, and now it seems to be okay again.
Yeah, I was wondering why OBS Studio was waiting so long to crash, but it finally did.
It was also stupid. RPM Fusion is Frobos 2003 is asking, is RPM Fusion built enough for a trouble-free upgrade? My personal laptops have RPM Fusion activated on them. I was able to upgrade okay. Your mileage may vary. It is a third-party repo. The Fedora project can't guarantee anything about third-party repos. That is why we don't test with third-party repos. I do know that the parts of the RPM Fusion repository that we include by default on Fedora Workstation are ready to go. And in general, the RPM Fusion team does a good job these days of keeping up with Fedora Rawhide, the rolling development tree, as well as branch releases and development releases, such as, for example, right now, Fedora Linux 34. And so I don't think that this is actually a problem, and you should be okay.
We're now on to accepting GPG keys, so we're loading the Fedora 34 primary GPG key, pressing Y. These transaction tests always weird me out, because, I was about to say they always take a while, and it doesn't show an active log of what it's doing, so I know it's doing stuff, but I can't see it. But then it messed with me as I was trying to say it and completed fast. Okay, so, Enra, I don't know how you want me to pronounce that, but when you upgraded, VLC was giving you an error. I don't know if that should be filed as a bug with VLC or against Fedora 34. If it needs to be filed against Fedora 34, I had a link somewhere. Yeah, I think that would probably need to be filed against VLC. What do you think, Neil? Neil, did you leave? We might have lost Neil. Yeah, I've got the best seat in the house for internet connection. I'm using, the VMs are hosted on a server that's got Ethernet directly into the router, and it runs the DNS server, so it's got fastest access to what it needs. Okay, back to the guide. We just did the system upgrade, download, refresh.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the thing you were... I heard you say you asked me something, but I didn't hear anything else. Because now you can hear why.
The blah? What's that? Did we lose you again? I'm confused.
I'm...
Okay, so I'm gonna guess that the job's calling. So we've done.
It was trying to.
It was trying to. You scared it off. So I think, according to DNF, the next step would be to. The next step would be to do a DNF system upgrade reboot, but I think sudo system CT, we need to do the virtual terminal 9 debug. So to aid debugging, run this command to enable a root shell on virtual terminal 9 during the upgrade boot. So the command is not that. Sudo system ctl add-1 system-update.target debug-shell service. So we're adding system debug shell. That's done. I actually don't know how. Oh, okay. So I guess I can send keyboard combinations with Vert Manager. So what we're gonna do now, sudo dnf system upgrade reboot. So this is where the whole offline update thing kicks in, I believe, because we've got the packages installed, and now we're going to do an upgrade reboot.
You've got it in one.
Cool. So let's run it. That was weird. Do not turn off your computer. I'll try. That would be unfortunate for the stream if I turned off my computer. That's right. Fingers crossed. I hope we won't have to file any bugs, but if we do, I get to learn how. You're timing it?
You don't know how to
Tell us the results.
file bug reports?
Huh? I know how to file bug reports. I've never used the Bugzilla specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've typically filed all mine in, Pagger, GitHub, those type of places.
This screen makes me very happy, just because.
It's very modern.
It's clean.
It's clean.
And it's very clean, it's very simple, and it's very comfortable. When people see it, there's no reason to be nervous, there's no scary text going on, there's not gibberish on screen, it's just simple. This is the kind of things that makes me feel like Fedora is super polished, like other competing operating systems. Like, this is a kind of screen that I would expect to see on a Mac, or when doing a system upgrade on a Mac. So the fact that we have something that nice is really, really great.
Robaz, I'm sure I could get the nasty text, but do I want to see it?
If you really want to see the nasty text, press the escape button and you will see it.
If I press it again, will I get out?
Yes.
Back to... Okay, let's do it. Ah! Ah! It's horrifying. Wow, it is moving super fast. Let's not look at that. Robuz, because it's just so shiny when there's no scrolling text. Everybody in chat's like, no. Scrolling text for life.
Y'all are the wrong people that this is for.
This Fedora workstation. Edward has something great if you don't want all the shiny polish of GNOME.
I'm gonna guess he's gonna bring up that thing that's called a tiling window manager thing that i3 hoop-de-doop.
Hey, don't be mean to i3. I like i3.
But yeah, as Josh Lay points out, the console spam actually makes it take longer because it has to print out the text, buffer it, log it, and send it at the same time. And so it actually takes more work to show it on screen than it does to do this. The upgrade does go faster when you're doing it this way. Just by a little bit, but it does.
And it's happened. I3WM forever. Sway though.
Yeah, come on, getting on that Wayland life.
I'm
Now
just-
that the driver that shall not be named is actually going to support the proper framework for working with the graphics subsystem, Sway will work with that too. Everyone's happy.
Desktop should not use more than 100 megabytes of RAM. I don't know. The wobbly windows. I mean, how can they call it sway if the windows don't sway?
Exactly. That's sort of the point. In any case, somebody says a modern desktop should use no more than 100 megs of RAM. Well, I'll say to you this. LexQt, or LXQT, 90 megs of RAM. Done.
Got 'em. I mean, I'm sure you could slim KDE down to that. Yeah,
I think if you take Akanadi out and then the rest of the KDE PIM stack, which means you're not running a MySQL server in the background, then I think Plasma is like 140 megs of RAM, which is really, really small for how feature rich it is.
Mm-hmm. You can turn on and off all the things in Plasma.
Yeah, and I think if you really worked at it, you could get Plasma to be under 100 megs of RAM, but that sacrifices a lot of the quality of life.
A lot of the wobbly windows.
And the wobbly windows. Actually, I'm not sure the wobbly windows would be sacrificed in that regard, because the wobbly windows run through the compositor, and now that we're Wayland by default, yeah, Wayland. It means that all the compositing stuff is actually offloaded to the GPU.
I feel like I should have boosted your volume really high when you said Wayland.
No, I already know that I'm very loud on the other end.
Are you? I can turn you farther down.
Yeah, LexQt is real nice. I use it for a lot of my virtual machines because I prefer having a graphical environment for my VMs, and the LexQt environment is super lightweight, and it gives me just enough desktop for me to be comfortable with things. The other one that I'll occasionally use is XFCE, but XFCE is just it's not that lightweight compared to LXQt. It takes like 200 megs of RAM, and when I'm spinning up VMs that have 2 gigs of RAM total, I'd really like to have as little RAM used by the desktop environment as possible. So yeah.
Birkin, that is a good question. Does LexQt support Wayland? I'm gonna Google that. Unless Neil knows.
I'm not entirely sure. I think because it's just built on Qt and the KF things, I mean, I guess maybe? I'm not really sure. I know that if you switch from OpenBox, which is what the Fedora LexQt spin uses now, to Quinn, which is what the KDE spin uses, the session can run as a Wayland session, so the desktop starts up that way. But I don't know if that also means that you get all the applications running as Wayland native applications as well. So I guess I don't know.
So I found an open issue for it. Let's put it up on stream real quick. Because I can do pro streamer things. Hooray!
You're so pro.
So pro. So this ticket's still open. So I'm guessing that it doesn't fully work.
It looks like it's been open for 7 years.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, it looks like it's mostly just under discussion, like how they even want to do it. Well, that's too bad. Wayland is definitely the future. That's for sure. If not now. The sad thing is that I couldn't be running this stream under Wayland because of OBS. It doesn't support Wayland well enough yet.
Well, you could have, because of a thing that I have, which is... Actually, you could have, because the Flatpak from FlatHub is OBS 27 RC1, which is which it has Wayland support.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Huh. Last I checked, it didn't.
And also, I have private builds that I've made for myself of OBS Studio to kind of play with it being Wayland. So I've got private builds of OBS Studio based on the RPM Fusion spec file that are built off of the latest commits to try it out, and it works okay.
Do you use OBS much?
I have streamed a grand total of 2 times. What do you think?
You inspired me.
I wasn't that good.
You were good enough to inspire me. That's something.
Well, you have surpassed me by a wide margin.
I don't know about that. I just had a dumb idea one day and managed to talk to the right people to make it happen.
But yeah, of the major desktop environments with Wayland support, the one that's probably in the most hot water is Cinnamon. Cinnamon is probably the one in the... Well, there's also the dead one, LXDE, but Cinnamon is... Of the ones that are not dead, Cinnamon is probably the one in the most trouble, because Cinnamon upstream has done absolutely nothing to move towards Wayland in 7 years. They, as far as I'm aware, they don't even have an issue open on their GitHub for it.
How's KDE's progress on Wayland going?
The kind of... There are no deal breaker issues as of right now, at least based on conversing with the KDE developers and working with what we've got. And some of the remaining issues that we have currently will be fixed in upcoming bug fix releases or the next feature release coming out in June, Plasma 522. But the remaining issues are really GTK integration issues, where GTK is not using the correct Wayland protocols, or in some cases, the Wayland protocol hasn't been proposed and standardized for both of them to use it. So once those are in place, then the remaining issues are basically gone, and we're at parity with what we had before. And I foresee that happening within a couple of months. The fact that Fedora will be shipping Plasma with Wayland by default has been a great driver for getting the KDE community to get things over to the finish line for Plasma Wayland. And I've been a part of that. I've done a fair bit of debugging, done some cleanup work and some fixes here and there, and filed bug reports and things like that. And the KDE community has been fantastic on this, and very responsive and very helpful and very friendly. So I've been really grateful for all the work that they've done and how much help that they put in to helping make this successful for us.
Awesome. I just switched back into the speedy text and then back out, and I don't know if I broke something, but now the text at the top is gone and we've got a new logo. That's interesting.
You didn't break it. This is what happens when you do live updates.
And that's why we're live streaming it, so you can see it break in real time.
Fortunately, it's not damaging. So what's actually happened is that the branding has changed, and the way that Plymouth actually works is it constantly refreshes from disk the screen as it updates the frame. So like every time it moves the progress bar, it's actually refreshing the whole screen. So that's why you get the new logo now, because the new logo is what's on disk.
Yay, new logo!
Though that is certainly a very fun and interesting experience.
I went into the scrolling text and it was just like moving at 1,000,000 miles per hour.
So this is Fedora 33 Workstation, right? So what other ones do we have planned to do an upgrade on in this session?
I don't know. I have no clue how late I'm gonna stay on here. I have both a 33 and 32 cloud image that are waiting for me to do whatever I want with them. So we could play with that if we have time.
We could have also been doing it while this was going.
Oh, we could. That's a good point. Hey, we've still got time.
We still can, because it's gonna take a while.
Okay. Let's take this. Let's make it tiny.
You're so pro.
Aw, thanks. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay, so... No, go back. Somewhere. Here we go. We've got... There we go. Nearly. No. Go. You. Go. Side, down, side. Scroll. Ha! Okay, maybe that's working.
Tiling the KDE Plasma way.
Almost as good as the i3 way. Oh, got him!
Ouch, that was very loud.
Sorry. Couldn't help myself. So, now we have this. I don't know how visible this is. You're right, Ali. YouTube channel should... So this is a droplet I've got running. It's running Fedora 33 Cloud Edition, and then over here we've got identical specs running 32. So let's go ahead and run through the gamut with them. Test case, upgrade DNF current workstation. So, since it is not workstation, I assume that everything should be the same, right?
Yeah, so the DNF system upgrade method works for all variants of Fedora. Fedora Workstation has an additional upgrade method through GNOME software. But if you're looking for the universal way, just do it with DNF system upgrade. Now, you will have a fun little consequence here. Since you are doing this with Fedora Cloud, you will probably want to have the console open from your VPS provider, because you won't see anything while this is happening otherwise. You'll just kind of have to sit there and wait.
Really?
When the actual reboot, because when you do the reboot, right? When you do the reboot, it's going to go into that minimal environment where you have no shell and no SSH, and it's going to do the upgrade. It'll probably work, but you won't be able to see anything.
But is there something to be said for scaring the crap out of her?
It makes for great content, I suppose.
We'll do the let's see. I'll get the dashboard thrown up on my other screen just in case for when it reboots. But let's go through the thing. Sudo DNF updateo go. Let's do it on both of them. Sudo DNF update go.
If you wanted to just do it without prompting, you could add -- assume yes to it.
I could, but that would require me to think of it.
Also, why is your text green? It makes it look awful.
'Cause it looks cool.
No, it doesn't. Green is terrible.
You're mean. Can change the theme though.
You can leave it. It's just like I'm sad because it's green, you can't even see all the fancy colors I added to DNF. Or this version of DNF might actually be sold. It predates my change to add colors to the output.
Yeah. I don't know.
It will be, but once the update is done, you will have colors.
There we go. Does this make you happy?
Well, I can't tell because right now it's... there we go. Yes, I'm happy now. No!
Ha!
Stop it. There we go, better.
Wait, Neil, you're Irish?
Wait, what?
Someone said Neil's Irish is bleeding. Pretty sure you're not Irish.
I did? I don't... What?
Hey, we could all...
I'm not an Irishman.
Huh?
I'm not an Irishman.
You're not an Irishman?
I've never been to the land of here.
We could always get cool retro term if we needed to.
Oh, no. Come on.
No?
Really?
You sure?
No. No. It's slow and cool looking.
Workstation is rebooting. Come on, password manager. No! I feel like I'm required to type my password 3 times wrong before it will actually let me in.
Don't password manage your SSH keys. You should know those.
Effort.
Lissai.
Lissai. Okay, so now we are back into the machines. But for now, let's check out this. What is happening? Oh no, it's just booting. We're good. Okay, so let's get logged in. Work. There we go. And now...
Welcome to Fedora Linux 34!
Hey! Look at this! Look at this! Welcome to GNOME 40. If you want to learn your way, check out the tour. I would. Essential new features. So, get an overview. Ooh, look, it's round. That's new.
I'm sad though. We don't have the animated video thingy that shows up when you start the tour. Like, the one in Fedora Linux 33 just made me like tickle with joy because it was just, it showed the Fedora logo and it did this little super fat the speed animation to fill out the infinity, and like I was just so happy about that. But now we don't have that. We just have these plain picture thingies.
Oh, my touchpad gestures don't work over whatever I'm using.
Well, you'd have
Spice.
Well, yeah, you can't do that unless you pull the touchpad device into the VM itself, which you probably don't want to do because that means you can't use it on the host.
Well, I am using an external mouse right now. Ha ha! Look at this. Oh man, there's no fancy animations. Look at that. Okay.
Welcome to the joys of not having hardware accelerated graphics in virtual machines.
I just had to make some folders. Ooh, look at this. I can shuffle stuff around. GNOME 40. Everything's working good. Nice. Everything is looking nice and polished. Oh, look at that expose thingy. It's floating outside the workspace. GNOME 40 is thinking outside the box. Get it?
Oh, Grayson, no.
Hey, I had an opportunity. Had to take it. Okay, so let's do this. Close that out. System reboots. Should reboot. New release. Grub menu. Test basic applications. A terminal, file browser, and other depending on the system flavor. Bye, Frobos. Thanks for coming. I hope we can do these streams more often. They're actually really fun. I'm glad that I didn't, like, completely destroy something. Okay, let's try out a terminal, because there's something you have to do to test GNOME 40, and that is neofetch. Oh, look at that. It asked me for the package, because it wasn't installed. Nice. I can't remember what that is called.
Yeah?
That's just so satisfying. Because it's just very polished.
It's called an integrated experience.
Is that what it's called? Oh, look at that. Fedora 34 Workstation Edition pre-release. Ouch, pre-release. Okay then. So, is there anything else we need to do? I think it worked. I'm not seeing any errors.
Why would it fail?
I don't know, it's a beta.
But you were assuming that it would fail.
I did not assume that it would fail. I just accepted that there was a possibility of complete and utter failure. It's a beta.
Well,
that's part of what a beta is. But it worked. So that's awesome.
Fine.
Anyone have any ideas of things that I should try to see if I can break it?
Play videos in it. The YouTubes.
Oh, the YouTubes in a VM over the network. Seems like a terrible idea. Let's do it.
No, make sure you play something from the Fedora YouTube channel.
Hey, let's watch the live stream on the live stream. I like it. Let's do this. This is gonna be terrible.
Oh my god, this is not gonna go well. But let's go find out anyway.
YouTube.com/ Fedora project.
YouTube.com/Fedora Proyecto.
Fedora project. It's actually going pretty fast. Hey, look, that's my face. Freaked me out at first. I was like, why is my face on YouTube?
Because you didn't set a thingy.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, this is so good. Hey, it's like fairly high FPS and everything. This is great.
Now, what about dem audios?
Dem audios. I don't think I can stream audio. With the way that this is set up, being a VM over the network and all that. Especially since that would totally mess it up, since it would be hearing my audio into. That's confusing.
Yeah, sure. But like, how can we tell that it's actually playing any audio? Like, can you see the waveforms as they're coming or something? Like,
we could hang on. Is there like some sort of volume app that'll let me see the levels? Sound system volume.
Maybe the sound thingy in those settings.
Oh, it worked. I heard the stream. Somehow okay, there we go. So that worked. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear that down on the stream, but I just heard the stream through the VM. Success.
Hey, look, responsive UIs. They work.
What do you mean? Like the snappy?
When you tiled it, the UI for this GNOME settings applet changed.
Oh, you're right, it did. Oh,
See?
fancy.
Polish and fancy.
Nice, much nice. Come on, do it again. It's not good. There we go. Cool. Okay. Let's stop this, because it's becoming YouTube Inception. Let's go check on those cloud boxes again. Where'd it go?
Oh, that was interesting. It actually, when you were talking, the line in actually was going into the VM.
What do you mean?
When you were talking, it was showing that the microphone audio, the line in, was showing audio samples coming in. Like there was a level showing off that there was audio coming in while you were talking.
Oh, so it was recording my microphone in the VM.
Yes, which I was surprised. I didn't think that would work.
Me neither. Much good. So somebody said, silent quiet reboot feature. What's that?
I don't know. I guess that's the. Is that the one with the grub hidden menu? Like, if you just reboot now, like, it's not going to show you the menu. Period. So I guess that's what that means. Like, if you reboot the VM now, it'll just go down and then come back up, and it'll never prompt you for the menu.
Cool.
Also, Marine really did a good job with this background. It is fantastic.
It does look good. It's got a very fantasy vibe to it.
I love it. It's been a long time since we've had a Fedora background with a fantasy vibe. I think the last time I remember personally was Fedora 8 with Werewolf. Or was that Carmen? I forget which one. Like, I think Fedora 8 was Werewolf.
Is there anything we could do to hammer on Pipewire?
Not really, unless you want to, like, hurt yourself by hearing audio while you're doing this.
I don't want to try and do a loopback over a networked VM while I'm also streaming and hearing, like, a loopback of the call. And I've, like...
Yeah.
No. Well, I can test that later. Bye, Geraldo. I've talked to you so many times and I've never actually tried to say your name. That's internet for you.
Now, what else are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go on these cloud VMs and update. Oh, come on. Yeah, Neil, your messages just came in now. Matrix server, no good.
Well, that's why you gotta be on the matrix.org server. Or, when the Fedora one is alive, that one.
Oh yeah, move into that one as soon as that happens. Okay. Updated, pulling in the plugin, switching it out. Release over. Oh! I wonder if there's any difference for the test DNF current or DNF previous. Presently 32. Is there? The instructions look about the same.
It should be the same. You're doing the same upgrade procedure.
Yep, they're the same. I don't know why they're different pages.
Look at that. So much more replacing and stuff.
So much text. Yeah, we definitely need to do this more often. Live streaming is fun.
Well, you can do this as often as you want, I guess.
I don't know. If I'm gonna do it too much, I probably shouldn't take up the Fedora channel every time. With this, it's like, it's definitely strictly Fedora related on a Fedora day thing, so. But if it isn't like that, I would need to move to my own YouTube. Okay. The updatio is done. Now we need to enable the debug shell. And system upgrade reboot. These VPSs are moving so much faster than the VM. I wonder why that is. Oh, you're right. Now I've lost connection to the servers. Oh, that's a problem. Well, sort of. I'm gonna set up some pings to the IPs of the VPSs to see if to hopefully see when they come on. But in the meantime, I need to see if I can get KVM video off the VPSs. I think I should be able to. Hey, there we go. Okay, let's throw these up on stream.
Hello, Micah. You believe, man, did I really just say her name wrong? It's hard. The letters, they don't match any sound things I understand. I'll just call her Duffy. That's easier.
Hey, VPS is rebooted and back up.
Well,
Now
it
let's
shouldn't
SSH
take
in.
that long to upgrade.
These were actually super fast.
So something a lot of people don't know, the Fedora mirror service allows individuals to register mirrors that are public or private. And in either scenario, you can actually tell the mirror service what IP blocks it should respond to. So if, for example, a cloud service provider provides a Fedora mirror, they can also tell the mirror manager service that for any Fedora instances operating in these IP blocks that are owned by them, that their machines would be provisioned on, the mirror manager will redirect them to use internal mirrors automatically. This allows them to fetch content super quickly and be able to have a good quality of experience when doing software updates.
And both of the VPSs have successfully updated. Oh, I hate allergies. But now they're both back online. Nice. I can't think of any. It's not as easy to hammer these since they're the cloud edition and they don't have like stuff you can open up. But that was impressive. It was just like done.
That is a testament to everything being high quality flash and also having really close access to a mirror. Fetching quickly and then installing even more quickly.
Is there anything else we want to test?
Well, ideally, I guess we would have something that, well, since Fedora Cloud and Fedora Server are essentially permutations, same test, I guess the only other one would be Fedora KDE.
Oh, actually, there is one more thing.
Oh?
I think... I think I set up an encrypted workstation VM. Somebody in chat says... system CTL status.
Software upgrade. You also need to test GNOME software upgrades.
Oh yeah, I do need to. Or I'll have to set up another VM because I forgot to take snapshots.
Tisk, Grayson.
Hey, I set this. I only thought of this like this after this. I don't know, morning. I've had one day to get this all set up.
I know. Still, tisk.
You're so mean. Why don't you run this stream? And
because I'm not pro. That's the point.
I'm not seeing. Look, failed 0 units. And over here on the other server, failed 0 units. Glorious. That's awesome. Let's go, Fedora. Where's the thing? Oh, wrong screen. See, I'm not that pro. Just
You're very pro.
I'm afraid that my VM might not be working. Oh, no. It just hasn't. Finish installation. Okay, so I think this is an encrypted installation of Fedora 33 workstation, so let's do that test.
Do you want to snapshot this machine before you do that?
I guess. Thanks, Ellie. It was really fun. Nice to see you in the chat. Hope you have a good day. Good rest of your day. Guess the day.
Thanks for coming, Ollie.
Guest is not running. So let's make a copy. Clone the disk.
There's a snapshot button in Virt Manager. Just use that.
Again,
click on the,
why don't you run the stream?
there, if you click on the little thing right next to the power button in the VM window, that's the snapshot control button.
The power button. This one right here?
The one that looks like you know where you see the play, pause, and then there's the one that looks like the power button?
Oh yeah.
That's that button right there, that's snapshots.
Oh, and I can create a new one. Well, it's too late now. I'm cloning the VM.
Oh, jeez. All right, fine. Do it that way. In the future, you can just do snapshots from Virt Manager right here.
In the future.
En el futuro.
Question for the chat, how has my background noise been? It's a little noisy in my house today. This is a fairly good mic, and I've got a gate on and all that, so. Dang, this is taking forever to create a clone. I should have just done a snapshot.
I told you.
You did, but I can't stop it now.
Tisk, tisk.
So anyone else in the chat who's been updating along, there is a page. Why haven't I done that yet? There's a page where you're supposed to write or enter your results. So I'll save that for when I'm done. But you click on the enter results for each one you've done, I guess, and you've got workstation here, and then server, KDE, spins. So there's the cloud. I'm not seeing any X's. Oh wait, there's one. System doesn't boot. Some sort of Lux issue. There's another one. Overall, this page looks pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead, boot up the encrypted workstation. Okay, so we're going through the encryption.
You should do this one with GNOME software.
Should I?
It's more fun that way.
Welcome to Fedora 34. Setup, next, skip.
Well, we're still in Fedora 33, so...
Aw, they hope I love Fedora. It's true, I do. Okay, so this one would be GNOME Software Current Workstation. Is there no GNOME Software Current Workstation encrypted?
Wow, we don't actually have a test case for it. I guess it's kind of implied, because if you're able to do with or without encryption with regular DNF, you don't really need to beat that dead horse for GNOME software, because it winds up being the same code path.
So you think I should just go ahead and do it through this?
Yeah, do it through software. Software's more fun. But you still should probably apply software updates, again, through software first before you start.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is there'll be more reboots in your future.
Okay, setup. Perform an installation of Fedora 33 with default partitioning. Do a full system update and reboot. So that's what we're waiting for the software catalog to finish loading so we can do that.
Software catalog is being downloaded.
I am sorry. I am gonna need to run for just a second. I'll be back in just a bit. And I'm back. So, we need to download all of our updates. Yeah, I agree, Eric. I need like a status bar or something to show me where I am. All I've got is this cancel button and a list of updates. It's a little confusing.
I kind of wish there was more feedback in these things. I'm curious to see if, when we're in Fedora Linux 34, if there'll be more feedback in the GNOME software when updates are happening.
So, just a side note, it appears that my GUI has frozen. What? Why is it frozen? That's not good. Oh, for some reason it got paused. I must have hit the wrong button or something. Resume, please.
That would certainly do it.
It is not resuming. Why is it doing this? Maybe you were right about my server crashing. Just kidding, the server's still online. For some reason, that VM has just decided to die.
Well then. Hakuna Matata.
What? Seems a little random. Little.
It means no worries.
Well, this is very much worries. For the rest of your days.
We'll get demonetized.
Yeah, I need to stop.
If you continue.
Well, actually, it doesn't really matter if we get demonetized. It's not like we're trying to make money off of this.
Fair, but still. Doesn't mean you should set a bad example.
Why isn't the VM resuming? This is really unfortunate. Got someone from Portugal. Nice to see you. Someone from the Ivory Coast. Hi.
What does the systemd journal say about, what does libvirt say? Like, what is going on?
Let's see. I'm gonna switch back to my green profile and SSH into the box I'm running these VMs on. Password. Sudo systemctl status libvirt d. What's that password? Oh, that's not good. Red text. No, wait. When was that? 23. That was 24-hour time. Using. That wasn't recently, though. End of file from agent monitor Quemuma. What? I have a password manager, Ryan. I was just trying to find the password. So the weird thing is that my other VMs are still working properly. It's just the one VM that is being weird. Is it possible that the VM could lock up and then display as paused in the in Root Manager? Wonder. I don't want to, but I could always do the forced reboot. can't get that VM to do anything. Force shutting it down isn't even working. This is really weird. Huh, I can't get this thing to work. Super weird. It's probably I'm assuming it's an error on my server since I can't make it do anything. And it appears that Neil has left.
I'm still doing the juggling thing, so that's why I'm a little in and out.
Bye, Sev. So, I'm just going to fire up the clone we made.
You should probably... So, you could try killing the process from HTOP or whatever, kill -9, the QEMU system x86, whatever, and see if that makes it go away.
I could. Trying to find the process for that VM. Because I don't remember the syntax for how those processes are named. Oh, okay, this is very weird. My other VM has locked up too.
You probably have a... that sounds like there's something wrong with your What is going on in the systemd journal?
For which? The server or the host OS?
The host OS, so the server that you're running this on.
So let's do a journal CTL.
Yep, journal CTL dash R to see the reverse chronological order.
Nothing important happening.
On the server? That is running the VMs?
Nope.
Alright, what is journal CTL dash RU space, wait a minute. What's the server? libvirt.service?
RU?
RU, reverse chronological per unit.
And then libvirt
libvirt.service. I think that's the right name for what your system runs. You really do need to, make that server a Fedora server.
I do, but that is gonna be such a pain in the butt. Like, we've talked about this before. It's like, it's got so much running on it. It's gonna be so hard. So, for the journal CTL, RU, libvirt service, the most recent stuff is just it setting up some name servers, doing some DHCP, DNS, and then oh, it's in UTC. That's why it's so weird. Okay, so you just need to subtract 4. So, about 20 minutes ago, it had some sort of internal error, but 20 minutes ago, we had the other VM running. Yeah, other than that, nothing.
Yeah, but the other VM froze 20 minutes ago.
No, I'm talking about the unencrypted one.
Oh. Okay.
So it's
what is the data storage underneath what is the storage for the VMs? Is it LVMXFS? Is it ZFS? Is it Btrfs? What is it?
So the VMs are running on QCOW2s, sitting on ZFS.
All right, what does ZFS say?
I don't know.
You could have bad disks, and your storage could have locked your I/O.
All disks online.
Okay, so
no known data errors.
So zpool status and shows everything's happy.
-V for verbosity.
Mm.
And no data errors. Another thing is that the normal workstation install that we updated fine is still running, and it's not having any issues. So it's something wrong with the encrypted install. I don't know if it has to do with it being encrypted or if it's something broke while it was installing.
Well then, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's something. It's definitely.
Well, at least you have a reproducible test case. You get to file a bug report.
What do I file a bug against, though?
I don't know.
Just because it's in a VM and it's pausing itself, and I can't unpause it. Or, so is it something wrong with the VM software? Is it something wrong with... Bye, Ryan. Thanks for coming.
What does verse status say for it?
Verse?
Yeah. Or Virt Manager. What does Virt Manager say? What is the status of the VMs? I assume that the UI, the Virt Manager UI, is not frozen.
Nuh-uh. It's the individual VMs are paused. But,
right.
Yeah, you can see.
Well, I can't see anything. You're not updating anything in the stream.
That's true. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable sticking my server's journal CTL on the stream.
That's fine. That's fine. I would probably say, yeah, I have no idea what's happening. I would probably say this is, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do here. Encryption is probably, yeah, libvirt DK, yeah, so like, usually, as Josh Slay points out, usually when a VM gets paused, that means something has happened on the libvirt side that says that it needs to pause it. There's a couple of reasons that it could be caused. It could think that there's a CPU exception, so it'll freeze the whole VM and stop it. So that would mean that your CPU has bugs in it, and then they were getting tripped by things that the VM was trying to do. Another thing that could happen is that it hit some kind of error state managing resources, and so that would cause it to break as well. But I don't know. You need to ask libvirt to find out like what actually happened.
Does libvirt have like a log?
Yes.
Why? I don't understand if. Would it not be showing up in just a system CTL status libvirt or a journal CTL?
It might or it might not. It depends. I would expect it to show up in the journal, but you know, knowing what I know about your server, it's entirely possible that the variant of libvirt on there is probably not configured to do proper logging.
The stream, I was making an unhappy face at you, and then I realized that the stream log made it useless.
Yeah, I'm trying very hard not to say what's wrong with your server, which is everything.
Stop. You're over. This is ridiculous. Don't believe him, stream.
Well, at this point, I think we can call this an end, because I don't think we can do anything else.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, per VM logs are in varlog libvirt quem. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. Because, yeah, no, yours, it'll be fine, Josh. The problem is his computer is made of terribleness.
No, it's not.
Hold up. Let me find where the logs are actually stored. They might actually be stored in that place, but I would be shocked if they actually like left that alone.
In varlib. No, wait.
In varlog.
Varlog libvirt QEMU. That's a directory.
Oh, cool! They left it alone. Yeah, go ahead and take a look in there. There should be logs about each individual VM.
Sorry that I don't have anything to put up on stream right now. You just have to see my face, which isn't great. Domain. Oh, in there it's just got a key and a socket. I don't see any logs. This might be unstream related content. I don't know. Is there anything else we should test for the stream? Like, I mean, the encryption might just be something I have to figure out tomorrow.
Well, you could do an unencrypted if you want to do an unencrypted. If you want to install Workstation again from scratch, you could do unencrypted and do GNOME software.
Because I didn't make any snapshots, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shut down these dead VMs. Get rid of these clouds instances.
Because like that's the only other thing worth doing. And then you might want to talk to Sumatro and the Fedora QA people to help you figure out what's going wrong with the encrypted ones. Because, man, that's weird. And I have never seen that before.
Okay, let's make a new virtual machine. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Okay, with Fedora 33. Four gigs of RAM. I am super impressed that we still have over 20 people watching. So happy that people are enjoying this.
That's because they love you. You're doing great work, you're pro, and you're amazing.
Meh.
Wow.
Thank you. Wait, what? Oh no. No, wait, what? Why did it stop counting? So with the new VM, it's doing the ISO check and it just stopped at 31%. Oh, wait, it's moving again. 32. Why is it
Why
going
are you
so
doing
slow?
the ISO check?
That's a good point. I've used this ISO 3 times already. We're good.
Hit the escape button, we're good.
Escapio.
I don't know why this is even still here.
Because you gotta check that ISO. Make sure you didn't miss anything on the download. Is that not a thing?
No, not in practice.
I always do it because it says to.
The thing is, if it were actually corrupted for some reason, you'd be suffering way worse problems long before you would be able to install.
Gonna install to the. Thanks, Robin. Oh, you're right. Let's check out what the memory. No, but.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense.
But then, why did the other VM keep running? Why did it kill
Probably
those?
because there was more disk I/O. Because it's an encrypted disk, so that means that it's an encrypted thing on top of that. You basically have the worst case for a copy Android file system.
Oh yeah, we've actually got a good bit of memory pressure going on here.
That's probably what killed it. Because when you're doing encrypted disks, that means that all the I/O is totally random, which makes it the worst possible case for, oh yeah, no, I've seen this before. Now that you have the memory pressure bit, I understand what's happening. Yeah, this is because you're using it on ZFS.
we've got 7.22 gigabytes of 7.68 gigabytes used.
You do not have room for
And
more
s-
VMs.
And swap is about that tight too.
You definitely don't have room for more VMs.
And that's why we're making another one.
You're also turning off the other one because you don't need it running anymore.
I know. It's also unfortunate that this is the same server that's running my DNS, so it might be bad for the stream if I, started eating everything.
Welcome to my life today.
Is that your life?
Right now it is. Everything's on fire and DNS is not working.
Are you still fighting with the GitLab issues?
Oh no, that's fine. Everything's fine there.
Okay.
This is totally different.
Let's see. Memory is being eaten up by virtual machines. And then MySQL. I didn't want to run the VMs on my machine while I was streaming because I know this machine is like super pro and all, but I don't know if it can handle that much.
I think you need to build a new server.
Is that just so I could install Fedora on it?
No, it's because you actually don't have enough capacity to do all the things you're doing on the one that you have now.
You're paying for it.
No.
Exactly.
Why don't you pay for it?
I don't have any money. I've got like a grand total of $30 right now.
Well, that $30 could buy your something.
I could buy you a Raspberry Pi. I'm just gonna get one Raspberry Pi. No, that'd be a serious downgrade. Configuring story. Why is this VM? This one feels frozen too. Oh, did this one lock up too? Yeah, this one feels locked up. It doesn't say it's paused, but it's not responding. CPU activity is at none, and it hasn't. Oh my gosh. Why are all my VMs dying?
Welcome to IO starvation. IO starvation. That's what's happening there.
Oh, my disk light isn't even lighting up. Yeah, my memory's just dead.
Okay, so you've killed your server.
Good. It's not like I don't use it for everything every day.
Right. So, that's probably a good point to end the stream then, because your server is basically ruined, and I don't think you can do anything.
In that case, thank you all for coming. This has been super fun. Definitely need to do this more often.
We'll probably do this again to do the rest of the upgrades.
Exactly. Oh, I still do need to file my results.
Yes.
Should we leave the stream running for that?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and do it in the stream? That way people can see how you actually file results.
Yeah, they can watch me figure out how to do it too. Never mind. I actually have done this before. When we switched to Btrfs.
Yes, you did. I made sure you did it, and that's why you have the buttery badge.
Oh yeah, I remember why I did it, because you bribed me. Okay, so let's start with DNF current for workstation. Did that. So, username is PewterKid. Profile. What's profile? Is that just me again?
Yeah, I think so. Where's profile?
Below username. Oh, oops.
I can't see that part.
Yeah, it got chopped off. So I'm just gonna put down as it's a pass, and it works perfectly for workstation. Submit query. So now, oh, profile was for my device. Okay, we'll just put this as KVM UEMU. I don't know if it'll edit it or if it will. Oh, that's not helpful. So, now you see me fail. I'm sorry. Profile is apparently supposed to be your device type. So I've got that done.
Well, you can fix it in post. Just do it again.
I did. So now we also did the cloud spin. So we did a DNF upgrade current. So that was me on KV cloud spin in digital ocean. Result passed. Works perfectly. Submit. And then another one for previous, because I did that too. And then that should be all. Anyways, now I really should leave because it's dinner time.
Yep, sounds good.
Thanks everyone for coming.
At the end of everything.
Thanks, Neil, for hanging out, answering all the questions that I don't know. I mean,
it's fine. We can do this again and have some more people.
Definitely. And now I'm gonna hit stop streaming. Goodbye.